What's up, YouTube? How's everyone doing this lovely, lovely, lovely day? This your boy Reg in the building. As y'all can see, I have two CDs left, two shelves of CDs left to show you guys. And then right from there, I'm going to jump into the vinyl recap, which I'm going to give myself a little time to do that because I want to give my time to find all my vinyls before I do that. So maybe like a couple of weeks. So this week and next week, I'm going to try to knock this out. So without further ado, the first album we're going to talk about today is some Tony's House of Music. This was the last studio album that they came out with in 1996. Very dope album. In my opinion, this is my favorite album from them. Yeah, I know a lot of people say Sons of Soul. I know a lot of people say The Revival, which I don't have Sons of Soul yet. I'm going to get that very soon. But yeah, this album right here was very good. I kind of consider this a neo soul album. I don't care what no one says. This was known for songs like "Loving You," um, Annie Mae. I love that song "Till Last Summer." Um, Loving You. I already said that. Let's Get Down with DJ Quick. I mean, this is a very, very dope album. I call it a classic album. Then we're gonna get like their compilation. This is the Tony hits. I want to say this came out in 1997, like literally 1 year after they broke up. So that's crazy. I also got like the Tony It Never Rains in Southern California, the single. This came out when I got that lot with all the Tony albums minus Sense of Soul. I pretty much got this because it has a version of It Never Rains in Southern California, like the live version. Oh my god, that is so ill. In my opinion, one of my favorite versions of the track. So yeah, it's like a collector's item. Yeah, we're gonna get into Too Short. With Life is Too Short. This came out in 1988. This I want to say this was considered like his breakthrough album by some people. I like this album, very dope album. I actually appreciate this album more than I did years ago. I ain't gonna lie, like this has songs like Life is Too Short, I Ain't Tripping. I love that song. Cuss words. I mean, this is Too Short, really finding his groove in my opinion. Then we got the Short Dogs in the House album that came out in 1990. Very dope album. This is a very underrated album if you ask me. This album to me was where, it got more funkier. It has songs like It's Your Life, Dead or Alive, Punk Bitch, Ain't Nothing But a Word to Me featuring Ice Cube. I mean, very dope album. Some of my favorite Too Short songs are on that album too. Then we got the Getting Where You Fit In album. This came out in 1993. Now, lately I've been torn between what was my favorite Too Short album, either this one, Cocktails, and I would even throw in Getting It, maybe. But to me, the Getting Where You Fit In album, this was a very dope album. Amp Banks and Too Short, that's all I gotta say. This was known for songs like I'm a Player, Money in the Ghetto, Playboy Short, It's All Good. I mean, very funky album. This is a classic album. Cocktails. This came out in 1995. Probably my personal favorite, if you ask me. This is really where he had like the live band at that time and stuff like that. And a little trivia: Too Short was the first solo rapper to actually have like a live band play all throughout the album and stuff like that too. So that's something that it should be noteworthy. This is known for songs like Cocktails, Pay Style. I love that track. Can I get a Sample the Funk? Don't Fuck for Free. I mean, this whole album is just so fucking sick. The album cover is dope too. Then we're gonna get into Getting It. This came out in 1996. This was supposed to have been his last album, to be cute a buck, but then he came back 3 years later with the Can't Stay Away album, which is an album I need to get in my collection. That's a very underrated album. But Getting It is underrated too. You can tell the sound was pretty different a little bit because around that time he was really embracing the whole Atlanta sound. He was working with Eric Sermon because Eric Sermon he relocated to Atlanta around like the No Pressure era, like 93, 94. So yeah, this was known for songs like Getting It, The joint, what's that joint? What's that joint? Because this don't even have the track listing on it. That's the bullshit. But it was known for this one other song, Getting It. Give me one second. I hate doing this. Been watching you, watching me, Pimp Me, Take My Bitch. That's the one I was thinking about. Yeah. Fucking dope album, in my opinion. I don't really hear a lot of people, talk about this album like that. I mean, diehard Too Short fans know. Then we're gonna get into 2000s with You Nasty. I've heard this album years ago. It was pretty straight and stuff like that. I want to say this was his last album on Jive Records. I want to say. You definitely got to talk about this album one day. Then we got Traffic with the Low Spark of High Heeled Boys that came out in 1973. Very, very dope album. This is a classic rock classic. All my Traffic heads, y'all should know who Steve Winwood is and stuff like that. This is known for songs like Light Up or Leave Me Alone. The title track, oh my god, that title track is so dope. Like, for all my weed heads, Buddha heads, or stuff like that, listen to that track. Thank me later. Now we're going to get into Tribe Called Quest with the People's Instinctive Travels and Passive Rhythm. This came out in 1990 on Jive. A lot of Jive records here. But yeah, very, very dope album. Classic album in my opinion. But I'm going to be real with you. I felt like in terms of representing the group, a lot of people will say that Low End Theory is the better choice because this album felt more like a Q-Tip. It felt more like a Q-Tip solo album for the most part. But it's not a bad album because there's songs like Bonita Applebum, Rhythm, Devoted to the Art of Moving Butts. I love that beat. Footprint, that the song that used the same sample as Main Source, Looking at the Front Door. Yeah, man. Then we're gonna get into Low End Theory, 1991. Oh my god. Very, very, very dope album. This is a classic album by many. Known for songs like Butter, Verses from the Abstract, Check the Rhyme, Jazz We've Got. Little trivia about the song Show Business. That song was originally a song called Georgie Porgy with Tribe, and I want to say it was Brand Nubian. But what had happened was the label didn't want them talking about, because they were talking about like gays and their views on homosexuality with certain lines. And Grand Puba actually left the song in protest, so they had to bring in Diamond D to jump in. So they had to do a whole new song. So felt that was interesting. Now the classic itself, Midnight Miradas. This came out in 1993. Classic album. I know a lot of people have said that this was like their favorite Tribe Called Quest song. This is the best album. I don't know, man, because some days I'm more of a Low End fan. Some days I'm more of a Midnight fan and stuff like that. Songs like Suck a Nigga, We Can Get Down, Electric Relaxation. Can't go wrong with this album. Now we're going to get into Beats, Rhymes, and Life, 1996. Okay, where do I begin with this album? I feel like personally this album is very underrated. However, there are some flaws, like it doesn't have Tip and Fife, because Fife at that time was staying, and I think he was staying in Atlanta at that time too. And Tip had Consequence, which is his cousin, doing like a lot of the verses. And I know a lot of people were not too keen on that because when people think of Tribe Called Quest, it's Tip and Fife and Ali Shaheed, not Tip, Consequence, and Ali Shaheed and stuff. And when Fife would get into the studio, they would already be gone, and he would just record his verse and stuff like that too, solos. But this was known for songs like Keeping It Moving, Phony Rappers, The Hop, which, songs like these and stuff like that, this was recorded around the time of the East Coast, West Coast beef, so album kind of went more darker a little bit, because, they were throwing shots at Ice Cube and stuff like that with the song Keeping It Moving. Even the song Phony Rappers, it's Tip at his most angriest. Then we're gonna get to the low end. I'm tripping. Love Movement. This was released in 1998. At the time, this was considered their final studio album. And yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. The guest appearances for the most part was what really brought this album to life, because by this time Tip and Fife's chemistry was not as strong and stuff like that. But listening to it now, it's not a I've never considered this a bad album, but it has a certain charm to it. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. And mind you, this is really like the only cover without like the signature without this, I think the signature like abstraction mascot, minus People Say Sing Some Travels and Pass. And the final studio album is We Got It From Here, Thank You for the Service. This came out in 2016. In my opinion, a very dope album. This album to me was a nice way to come back. It was a nice way to reintroduce themselves, but it could have been on better terms, because you guys should know that Fife had previously died. I want to say he died like about 6 months before this album. I want to say this album came out either October or November of 2016. Yeah, man, this was known for songs like The Space Program, This Generation, Kids. This was a very dope album. This was a perfect album for that time. Like 2016, man, that was a crazy year. That's all I gotta say. True, Master P and Sick the Shockers group. This came out with their third studio album, True, 1995. Very dope album in my opinion. I personally feel like this album to me was like the real breakthrough when it came to No Limit, if you ask me, and stuff like that too. This was known for songs like Bout It, That's How We Break Bread, Walk Like a Killer. Very, very dope album, classic album. Then we got Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator with Wolf. This came out in 2012. Very, very, very dope album. In my opinion, very underrated if you ask me. And this was known for songs like Answer, I Fucking Hate You. This album took more like a jazzier approach, which was kind of what predated what he was doing, is what he's doing now. And speaking of Tyler, we got the Flower Boy album that came out in 2017. In my opinion, my favorite album from Tyler the Creator. I personally feel like this album kind of reintroduced him to a broader fan base and stuff like that. Got him more experimental. Oh shit. Known for songs like I Ain't Got Time. It was known for songs like what's that one track? 911 Mr. Lonely, which I love that track. Who That Boy with A$AP Rocky. Yeah, man, very dope. They got Tyrese with his third album, I Wanna Go There. I'm gonna keep it a buck with everybody. I'm not a Tyrese fan like that, minus his first album. And this came out in the CD lot, so I just got this just to have it, But it's better than that god awful Alter Ego album. That's all I gotta say. Then we're gonna get to U2, The Unforgettable Fire. This came out in 1984. Believe it or not, this is actually the only U2 album I have at the moment. This was a pretty okay album. This was pretty dope. This is known for songs like Pride in the Name of Love, 4th of July, Elvis Presley in America. Like, this is pretty much their most political album to date, if you ask me. Well, maybe. Yeah, I would say this is their political album to date. So yeah, very dope. If you like the alternative sound of the early to mid 80s. If you're a fan of U2 before they got like big, if that makes sense, because don't get me wrong, I fuck with U2, but I'm gonna be real with you. The thing that the general public don't like about YouTube albums like Zooropa, Rattle of Rum. I'll even throw in that album too. Those are like my favorites and stuff. Even though I do love the Joshua Tree and Atong Baby, I love those and stuff. I just have, I might have to talk about YouTube one day, do a breakdown one day on them. We got You God with the Golden Arms Redemption. This album right here was okay. This was his first album. It was known for songs like Glide, Bizarre, Rumble, Shell Shock. You know, pretty straight album. Then we got the Ultramagnetic MCs with the Four Horsemen. This came out in 1993. This was a very, very, very dope album. I want to say this is maybe my favorite album from them. You know, this is when they were really working with Godfather Don. This is known for songs like Checking My Style, Two Brothers with Check, San Francisco Harvey, Raise It Up. I love this album. It pretty much got that dark, boomy, boom bap sound and whatnot, kind of taking them back to their roots a little bit, because even though I do like the Funky Head Up album, I know a lot of fans, especially in the Ultramagnetic community, weren't really too keen on that album because of Mercury meddling with the production, which y'all watch the review and to know the story with that. Then we got Mr. Usher himself, Usher Raymond, with his debut album in '94, self-titled. Very dope album, in my opinion, very underrated. I mean, this was known for songs like I'll Make It Right, Think of You, Slow Love. I mean, very, very dope album. In my opinion, like, his first 4 albums are my favorite when it comes to Usher. Then we got the My Way album. Very, very dope album. This came out in '97. This is what a lot of people say is like his breakthrough album, if you ask me. This is known for songs like You Make Me Wanna, My Way, Just Like Me, Nice and Slow. Dope album. Then we got the Juggernaut itself, Confessions. This came out in 2004. Oh man, this is a classic album in my opinion. This album right here was very, I remember when this album actually came out in '04, like just seeing like the controversy that it had, because at that time he was dating Chili from TLC, and the rumor was talking about how a lot of the songs on the album was about her and stuff like that, which we're going to talk about this album one day, so that's gonna be a very interesting review. Then we're gonna get into Van Halen with their self-titled debut, Van Halen 1, I should say. My favorite album from them. Well, I'm gonna have to get back with you on that, but this album, in my opinion, this might be crazy, but I would say it's like the greatest debut in rock history. Like, I even like this like more than Appetite for Destruction and stuff like that. But yeah, this album right here is raw. I mean, god damn, David Lee Roth, Jesus Christ. Known for songs like You Really Got Me, the cover of the Kink song, Running with the Devil, Eruption. Very, very dope album, classic. Then I got soundtrack of The Young and the Restless. This is pretty much just like a blind buy. This was pretty much involved with a CD lot I had and stuff like that. It's just, you know, back when the show was running in the '80s, it came out in '87. Then you had certain members from the cast do certain songs and stuff like that too. So yeah, that's not the one I really wanted, which I'm gonna show y'all in the vinyl, the vinyl recap and stuff like that. And then we're gonna get the Juice soundtrack. This came out in late '91. Very dope soundtrack. Everyone knows the movie Juice, Tupac, All My Eps, Sam Jackson. I mean, classic. I think I might watch that movie tonight, low key, man. Fuck. But yeah, this was known for songs like Uptown Anthem, So You Want to Be a Gangster, Uptown Anthem by Naughty by Nature, So You Want to Be a Gangster by Too Short, Enough Respect by Big Daddy Kane. Oh, why was not that on Prince of Darkness, I am not sure. And I love the Prince of Darkness album, but that Enough Respect joint, oh my god, that's top 3 Kane songs, period. I know they have the remix on the Looks Like a Job for album, I know. Don't Be Afraid with Aaron Hall. Oh my. Again, they have a trashy ass remix on this first album. Um, this whole fucking soundtrack slaps. That's all I gotta say. Sometimes low no shade. I watched some of these movies back in the day just for the soundtrack. Sometimes the Juice soundtrack, the Men's Society soundtrack. I'm gonna take it back. Superfly, Claudine. You know what I'm saying? The Wiz soundtrack too. Niggas don't talk about the Wiz soundtrack, but we gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about that one day. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm getting some water right quick. Throat's dry. And we got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more CDs to go, so we can knock this out. Cause I am tired. Then we got Whitney Houston with Whitney Houston, various artists with the Bodyguard soundtrack. 1992. Again, another dope movie in my opinion. I've done a review on this movie. I want to say I reviewed either the soundtrack and the movie years ago. I want to say the soundtrack though. Yeah, this was a very dope album. In my opinion, like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I mostly just got this just for the Whitney songs. Everybody else, they had cool songs. Like, I do like the Lisa Steinfeld song, Someday I'm Coming Back. But to me, the Whitney song, when you have I Will Always Love You, I Have Nothing, I'm Every Woman, Run to You, and Queen of the Night. Queen of the Night, oh my God, I don't want to hear no one talking about that. But yeah, if she would have done an EP based off those songs, that might be her best work, period, maybe. But yeah, man, the Bodyguard soundtrack, very dope. Now, this shit, Menace to Society. This was a very good soundtrack. I could have sworn, I had the Boys in the Hood soundtrack. Yeah, I did have the Boys in the Hood soundtrack. What the fuck is that at? Anyway, I'm gonna find that later because that I don't want. I'm losing already focus right now. But Menace to Society, this came out in 1993. Very, very dope movie. One of my all-time favorite movies of all time. Unpopular opinion, I kind of like this movie more than Boys in the Hood. I know y'all might call me crazy, but that's just the way I see it. Yeah, this whole album, the Menace to Society. Now, where's this fuck is my CD? For this shit. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely look for this thing after this video's over because something's not right. But yeah, the Menace to Society soundtrack is definitely another soundtrack that slaps. I mean, where do I even begin? Like, you have Niggas Got No Heart with Spice One, and you also have The Trigger Got No Heart, MC8 Straight Up Menace, which I want to say that was like the biggest song off that album. But you don't. It's a variety. It's not just the West Coast. It's not just West Coast rappers. You have Boogie Down Productions and Pete Rock and CL Smooth. You have UGK from the